I'm Nicole Jones, and you are listening to Mediocre to Masterful. This podcast helps you master your goals, activate your plans, and manifest your purpose. Hello. Welcome back to season 2 of Mediocre to Masterful. Welcome back to those who have listened to the first season. And welcome. Thanks for joining me for those who are new and this is your first episode that you've ever listened to. I'm super excited to help you guys continue to follow your goals, to follow your passion in any arena, in any avenue, and for me to share some information, some insight, and to have some guests on here to share some information and insight to encourage you and motivate you to move forward on your happiness, on what you know you are destined to do in life, or what you don't know yet you are destined to do, but you're just trying to find those answers. So I'm super excited to continue this podcast and be able to help you all with that. It's definitely been a minute since season 1 for sure. And, I think that was all by design, because I wanted to release a little bit sooner, but God told me to wait. And so I waited, and just being disciplined in that, in that nature, and making sure I'm putting forth the best information that I possibly can, providing you all with the best resources I can possibly provide. So I'm just I'm just really excited about this season. And what's crazy is this time last year I was just like developing and learning and downloading different courses to help me get started with podcasting, and watching YouTube tutorials, and taking online courses to figure out how all this stuff works, and reading articles. And that was all before launching the first season. And now here I am like saying welcome back to season 2. It's just crazy. And I'm just really happy. I'm really excited, and I feel like I am operating in a place that brings me happiness, that brings me joy, and it feels right. It feels like this is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm excited about what else will be revealed to me by God, by the people that I meet, by the opportunities and the places that I walk into. And I'm just super excited about, what all will unfold. Season 1 definitely helped narrow down my voice. And of course, that's something that I will always be working on with this podcast and just other opportunities. But just trying to figure out what type of information should I be sharing? What information do you guys like? What information do you guys want to hear more of? So season 1 really helped me create like a baseline and a better understanding of how this will go. So I'm super excited because I have quite a bit of shows already lined up. Amazing guests. Season 1 guests were amazing. If you are new, welcome to this podcast. And if you have not yet heard season 1, be sure to, jump back and listen to those episodes and find some encouragement and an inspiration in your path to success. But if you have heard season 1 and you're following me through this next season, you're going to be very, very impressed, excited, and fulfilled in this next wave of guests and topics that will be discussed this season. So welcome back to those. And I'm just like ready to like get started. I want to like release all episodes at once, but of course that's not going to happen. And again, for those that are new, I release a new episode every Tuesday, weekly. So you'll be able to get some more information and resources as the show goes along. And I'm just so excited. I feel less stressed this season. The first season, I was definitely like, oh my God, is this correct? I didn't edit that properly. I should have cut that part out. I said too many ums on the microphone, or just different things that I really should not have been really worried about, because the real intent was to make sure you guys received the message, to make sure you guys were encouraged, were motivated to move forward on your destiny, to move forward on your success. And that was the real intent. And I know that happened because I received different messages and phone calls and just great response from all of you all. And I appreciate that. So I'm really looking forward to being able to do that again this go around and more. So, let's get right into today's topic. The topic, of course, is I quit. And I'm sure you all have been dying to figure out, Nicole, what the heck? Why didn't you tell me? Like, you gonna release this on a podcast that you quit your job? No, I did not quit my job. But hang in with me. Don't, skip to the next podcast or whatever. Hang in there with me and hear me out on this one. I did not quit my job. And I know you're like, girl, bye. But this topic I feel like will touch and a lot of people will be able to relate to the things that I want to share that I have quit for this year. And it's just a mindset shift. It is me reinventing myself and me trying to put forth the best version of myself and allow God to steer me in the right direction and for me to follow that path. So there are actually 3 things I want to share with you guys today that I have quit. And in conversation with a few people the past few months, it sounds like a lot of people are also on this journey of quitting certain mentalities, certain people in their lives. So there's 3 things I want to cover. There's 3 things I quit, and that is leaning on my own understanding. I quit the spirit of poverty, and I quit conversations that add no value to my life. I'll break down each of these, and each of those are like fully loaded. There's a lot behind each one of those. I will not go into all the details, but I will at least give some information and some insight because, again, through conversations, a lot of people are experiencing some of the same things. So I at least want to touch on some high level things that I'm quitting and then how we can move forward and what's the why behind it. What is it that we should do in place of the things that we quit? And these are some of the things that I'm doing. So you don't necessarily have to follow everything that I am sharing. I'm just sharing because, I feel like people could relate. So whatever you do behind the items that you quit, whether they follow along with what I'm sharing or you have different ones, be sure to have your why and what will you do in place of the item that you're quitting. Because whatever you're doing to replace that, it should be something positive. It should be something fruitful. It should be something that, you got a download from God about, this is the direction that you need to take. So, hear me out, folks. Hopefully you're still with me and you did not change the podcast channel because you're like, okay, I thought she thought she's going to tell me she quit her job. That was the real tea. But hang in there with me. So the first one that I mentioned, I quit leaning on my own understanding. What does this mean? This basically means that I am a person who is a great planner, a great organizer. I really like things to be in order. I like to schedule things out. That's the true nature of just who I am. And it's really my 9 to 5. That's what I do for the majority of my day. But there are certain areas in life, certain things that may occur that I have no control over. And I have to let go and let God and allow him to work his magic, allow him to direct me in the direction I should be, allow me to fall back when I need to, because I feel like I can help solve a problem all the time when that's not necessarily true. Quite a few things within last year that I tried to take control of, and it wasn't my mission. It was not my mission. It was not my assignment to do so. And every time I did so, there was friction. There was, negative vibes. There was, or situations that I could have avoided because I was trying to help. And naturally, I'm a helpful person. I do not mind volunteering. I do not mind, giving my last to people. But there are certain situations that occurred last year that I had no business being a part of. Even though my intentions were pure, my intentions were to help, my intentions were to provide. God basically was like, time out. You trying to, march yourself into an area where I have been telling you to fall back from, to move away from, and I have this. It's in my hands. Allow me to do it. And in my mind, before I was actually started to listen to what he was saying, I was trying to take the reins. I was trying to, make sure everything was okay. I was trying to be like the sole point person to help a situation, and it was not for me to do that. That situation was for, that person to go through and still go through and find their way. But I could only go but so far. And in that time, I was allowing myself to lean on my own understanding. I was acting based on what I knew to be right. When, yes, it was good, that's awesome, that's fine, but there's another mission behind that's much more bigger than I am, that doesn't require me to be a part of. I mean, I'm not going to share what that specifically was, because that's, it's still kind of ongoing, but insert your story there. Like, I'm pretty sure there is someone that you want to help, you want to save. There is a situation that you're trying to do at work, in your career, that you are trying to be the Captain Marvel for on your team. And every time you try to do the right thing, it goes left. It is not for you to complete. Whatever that thing is, it is not your mission. And we have to sometimes step back, evaluate the situation. Yes, we could be a helping hand, but no, it is not placed on us to actually be in that equation, to be in that situation. Allow it to play out, run its course the way it should be, without your hand in the pot. And that is just the truth. Like, there are certain situations that you cannot repair. And so for me, I had to quit leaning on my own understanding and allow God to be able to reveal to me, be able to order my steps in the right direction on certain areas of my life. And another thing that plays into not leaning on my own understanding is, I did not create a vision board for 2019. And for those that know me, they know I always create a vision board. Like, there is no getting around Nicole Jones when it comes to her creating a vision board for every single year. And 2019, that was not your girl. I didn't. When December came around, I had no desire to do so. I thought about it, of course, and for whatever reason, it really just did not sit with me to do it. Like, I had little to no desire to do so, and I think it had a lot to do with the growth that manifested throughout last year, and me, with this same motto of not leaning on my own understanding, and quit trying to control different things that are outside of my wheelhouse. I think that it definitely played into this year in my goal development, because, like I said, I literally had no desire to create a vision board, because by December, I would be complete with my vision board. Like, I would have had my magazines, I would have had my vision board ready. I would have, re-upped on my tape, on my glue, or something like that to prepare for the new year. And I didn't, because I have gone into the mindset for this year of, being disciplined, being more open to what God is trying to tell me to do in this stage of my life. Allowing him to, order my steps, allow him to prepare me for more, allow him to continue to reveal to me what my assignment is, and for me to just follow that. Do I regret having created vision boards in the past? No. They were great bonding experiences when I did it with friends. They were great when I did them by myself, but I enjoyed doing vision boards. I, for the most part, achieved a lot of the items that were on the vision board. Not every single thing, but a lot of the things came to pass, which was awesome because I'm a pretty visual person. So, that was another reason why vision boards were helpful for me. But again, I was creating a course that I wanted to be able to achieve. And in some cases, I did not always go to God on the things that I was putting on my vision board. So those things did not come true, or they did not, manifest. And that was something that I know for a fact what was delaying me in achieving a lot of the things in my life. So for this year, I have not created a vision board. The only thing that I have is be disciplined, follow God's plan, and allow Him to prepare me for the opportunities that He has planned for me. So I'm really being obedient. I am being disciplined and just allowing that to run its course the way that it should. So why is this important? Why is this important to me? For me, this is important because if you are someone who has been battling with your plan versus God's plan, my advice is just to let go. Let go of your plan and allow His plan to then become activated, and just prepare for the level of amazement that you're about to receive when you allow Him to run the course. And it's just amazing. I wish I was at this mindset years ago when I first started doing vision boards, but I don't regret it. It's because, it's all life is a learning experience, and there are certain things that you just have to figure out on your own until you get it right. And for me, that was not leaning on my own understanding and opening up to God a lot more when it comes to my plans, my visions, and asking Him, is this the direction that you want to take? I know this is what I think I want to do, but is this also what you want me to do? Like, let me know. Lord, give me a sign. So it was definitely something that I had to come to terms with. And to be honest, I was like even battling myself whether I was going to share this on the podcast, because it's just, I don't know, very personal, I believe, my spiritual connection with God, and me having conversations with Him, and just the journey that I'm having with becoming much more deeper in my relationship with Him. I was almost like nervous to even share this with you, but then I thought, well, why am I nervous? Like, what is my apprehension in sharing this level of information on my podcast? It's still goal related. Why am I like, should I share this or not? And I as soon as I realized I was questioning myself about whether I would share that, I stopped, and I'm like, that is the enemy. As you become more open to what His plan is for you, you'll also run into questioning yourself, doubting yourself, and that is honestly the enemy trying to hold you back from your destiny, hold you back from your true happiness, your true desires, and the abundance that God has planned for you. And another reason, this is so crazy. Another reason how I know this was on me to share this information and that the enemy was trying to hold me back, I have recorded this podcast more times than I can count. My other episodes that I've done for this season are, I've done them in like 1 or 2 sessions. The ones with the guests have been good. But this one in particular, I've had to do the most out of all of my episodes for this season. And the first time I had issues with the sound. And the second time, and actually a few more times after that, the files were like, cannot find file, or cannot find it was like some weird message I had never seen recording this podcast, these episodes. And I'm like, you know what? That's the devil. I did not get mad. I did not get upset. I just said, okay, so this is what we're going to do today. So basically, I'm just going to have to re-record this episode, and I'm just going to continue to record until it's live and able for people to hear and listen to, because it's clearly a message that I need to be sharing with you all, because it's not, I know this is not just me battling myself when it comes to my plan versus God's plan. So this is going to resonate with a lot of people. So let me continue on this mission because there's a greater purpose behind this, and someone needs to hear this in order for them to release these, roadblocks, these mental blocks that they have in their head, and be able to allow God to activate his power. So I'm just excited because I finally was able to get this out, and I did not have to record it for the umpteenth time. And I think that's all I want to say about that first point. I think you guys get the gist of why I'm quitting, leaning on my own understanding, and how that plays into this podcast, and hopefully how that plays into what you're currently going through, and gives you some sort of insight on what you could be doing. You don't have to follow the same steps that I'm doing, but reconsider some of the things that you had planned that you did not go to God about. So the second thing that I am quitting. What are you quitting, Nicole Jones? I am quitting the spirit of poverty. I touched on this in season 1 on the episode 2 on how your past plays into your purpose. And I basically talked about how I just flat out sucked at budgeting. And that is just the truth. And how my husband had to get me together because I was just horrible. And that just comes from having a lack of education, no financial literacy. But quitting the spirit of poverty, it's a constant journey. It's always progression. You can always improve in every area of your life. And I know that I'm doing that when it comes to money management. I'm not saying that I am in poverty right now, although paying these student loans makes me feel that way. But I have made a complete 180 when it comes to money management, to the point where I am trading now. Like, I'm in the stock market making moves, and I'm super excited about that. But I say that I'm quitting that because I know it has the potential of coming back at any moment if I do not continue to practice good habits when it comes to money management. I have to thank my husband tremendously because he is like the super mega mind guru when it comes to money and how to manage money and how to keep money and how to save money and how to trade money. And, God knew what he was doing when he placed Greg in my life because I just was not that. I do it pretty well at work when it comes to budgeting projects and stuff. When it came to like my own money management skills, I just, for whatever reason, fell flat. And really the reason was just, lack of knowledge and education. So I put that on here because, as I am trying to elevate in my financial skills, that, at any moment I could fall flat again if I don't continue to practice good money management skills. And so some of the things that I am doing is investing. I finally invested in the stock market for the very first time last year, and I'm just so proud of myself because, again, it's been a complete 180, and I'm just really excited that I have taken the time and been patient with myself and, released that frustration that I had with not really understanding. And I remember just thinking back in college when I was first interested in trading and investing a lot more. And even though I had the right intentions to want to do that early on, I'm so glad that I didn't, because mentally I was just not in the right place. And I truly believe, had I actually done well in the market or made a little money here and there when it came to stocks, I would not have operated in the right way. I feel like for sure, had I got a little money, I would have been blowing that at Lenox Mall. And then I would have been looking like Boo Boo the Fool, trying to figure out, well, how I'm going to make my next trade if I don't have no money, because I just spent money on the trade that I just profited from. I was not in the right mind frame. As soon as I got money, I was blowing money. The whole rob Peter to pay Paul mentality. And it just would have been all bad. And I'm so glad that did not actually play out. But today, the today me is super proud of myself about what I've been able to accomplish, and just being patient with myself, giving myself grace. That's what I really needed to do, because, when it came to the point of me being financially responsible, I was super frustrated. I didn't want to talk about it that much. I felt like I was a complete failure because I exceed in all things in life, quote unquote. And, financial responsibility was just not it for me. And I just didn't do well at it. And I was frustrated and it irritated me. And that was only because I lacked education. I lacked understanding. I lacked in a lot of different areas. But I also didn't seek more information on how to be better. I just saw it as, what can I say? I saw it as an attack. And that was only because I did not come to terms with my poor choices. And that was just all on me to, make sure I change that, be patient with myself, give myself grace, and take the time to be humiliated and embarrassed and understand, why am I making these actions? Where is this rooted from? How did I even get to this point? And I really had to have my come to Jesus moment and everything and just get my life together when it came to that. So if you were that person, it is possible. Like what you hear? Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter at mediocre-to-masterful.com for more tips and resources to help you reach your goals. And you can also follow us on Instagram at mediocre-to-masterful. If you are dating someone right now, or maybe even married to someone, and you know for a fact you are not good with money, and it pains you every time you need to have that conversation, you need to have that conversation because, as they say, finances is one of the number one causes of why relationships or marriages fail. You need to have that conversation. I'm so thankful, so blessed that conversation happened earlier on, because it's really not fun. It's uncomfortable. I felt hot every time I talked about it. I would be sweating, and I'm not one who sweats. And it was just all bad, and I knew I needed to have that conversation. So I am encouraging you, if you are, someone who knows you need to get your money together, and you need to have those conversations with your partner, your future partner, and be real, because once you can get over that, everything else will be a breeze. It may feel like you are being attacked. It may feel like you are being intruded on and you're vulnerable and you just feel uncomfortable. You can't mouth the right words. You can't even pull out a full sentence. And, it's uncomfortable because it's just not an area that you feel smart in or educated in. But you can be real, have that open line of communication. Talk about why you're frustrated. Talk about why you can't, mouth the right words. Talk about why you are sweating. Talk about why you did certain purchases that you shouldn't have. And you might not have an answer, and that is okay. But just talk out your feelings. Talk out how you feel when you're having a conversation about finances. Talk it out with that person that you respect and you love. And once you're able to do that, be able to do that in all communications with that person, not just money, but anything else. Have open lines of communication. And I know for me, I am continuously, trying to do the right thing when it comes to money management and releasing that spirit of poverty, because it can creep back in. It can, if you are not being consistent and you're not being disciplined. So I know, even though I feel like I'm on the up and up now, I know I need to continue to perform at my best ability. I am more educated now than I was, years ago, when it was really a problem. And to touch on a little bit more about being able to not only be more financially responsible and be consistent with that, but I've also, like I mentioned earlier, began trading in the market, which has been super exciting. And I really feel empowered. I feel so empowered, so much more aware of what's going on in the economy around the world. And it is just a rewarding experience. And if you listen to episode 14 from season 1, Retire Before 35, I actually had Tila Holcomb on, who is the founder of the Trade Your 9 to 5 program. And she has quite a few programs, but she's most well known for Trade Your 9 to 5, which is basically helping people learn how to trade the market and trade enough that they make enough to supplement their current income. So you can do that when it's full time. But make sure you listen to that episode if you have not. But she has really been a great resource for me. I am a part of her Cherry Picks program, which is basically for options trading to figure out on a weekly basis what calls or puts to put on a company in options trading, which is totally different from stocks. So I am just at a whole nother place, a whole nother mindset when it comes to money management. And it has just been best experience. If you follow me on social media, here and there I'll talk about, some of the great gains that I've made through her program. And it's just been a great experience. And as I mentioned, it's just really empowering. And what the beauty of that is, as I have come to learn more about investing and trading, I have been able to network with other women and other Black women as well who are in this space and making millions and thousands and just doing an amazing, phenomenal job in teaching other women and teaching other people how you can also do the same. So if you are at the point where, I originally was flat out on my face and, can't balance a checkbook, there's an opportunity for you to grow. Now I'm on the other side of this, and I am now able to walk in rooms where I'm able to have a conversation, not like a super technical conversation about trading the market, but at least I have some sort of awareness and can hold a conversation about these topics, and which at once upon a time I would have been super nervous. I would have felt out of place in being able to have these conversations about money. I would have been embarrassed because I'm like, oh my God, all these women around me are able to do this, and I don't even have like $10 in my account. I had to borrow money to get gas to get here. My whole mindset has shifted, and there is a place for you if you want to do better. There are opportunities out there. There's resources available. And I just encourage you to seek the knowledge. And lastly, one of the things that I've done when it comes to releasing the spirit of poverty, and this is one I'm pretty sure quite a few people can relate to, and that's student loans. Student loans, my friend. So what I've been able to do with student loans, I'm still paying them, unfortunately, or fortunately, trying to get rid of them. But I have been able to refinance my loans. I've had conversations with friends about, loan management and how to refinance and all that stuff. And a lot of people have questions about, I want to refinance, but I don't know what I should do. What's a good option? And, it could just be overwhelming when it comes to trying to do the research for that. So I just wanted to share some things that I've been able to do, that I've been able to share with my friends, and that's refinance. I did it twice. The first one I did with SoFi, and then the second one I've done with Georgia United Credit Union. And I did this back to back. So one year I did SoFi, the following year I did Georgia United Credit Union. The first one with SoFi, and I'm about to allow y'all into my business a little bit, but my student loans originally, some of them were like in the 8% range, and it was like it felt like it was never moving, basically. And I'm like, oh my God, I just want these to go away. And they didn't feel like they were going away. So I refinanced with SoFi because they had a great special going on. It actually wasn't really a special, it's just how their business pricing model operates. But I was able to get those down to 6%, I think 6 or 5% with SoFi, which was amazing. And they were able to consolidate some of my loans, but not all of them, which was still helpful, and I definitely appreciated. And it worked. It helped me out. I got to see some movement on, paying on my loans, which is great, paying on the principal. Next year, I ended up working with Georgia United Credit Union. And now they were able to consolidate all of my loans, not just some of them, but all of them. And now I am down to 4%, 3.5%, 4%. And it is just night and day. I am just super excited. I feel like my loans are being, cut out extremely fast, and I'm able to do this. I mean, I believe I can just knock out my student loans within the next 2 years, and I am just elated about being able to do this. Still, I want them to be gone. That's when I'll be super excited, but I'm really excited in the interim while it's down at a lower percentage. So if you're in Georgia, definitely check out Georgia United Credit Union and see what you can get. And if not, check out SoFi, just some other sources, or do your research on other opportunities. I'm sure there are other consolidation companies that will be able to work things out with you. So I spent a lot of time on, finances, what I'm quitting, and quitting the spirit of poverty, and making sure I'm staying consistent, want to continue to operate in, what my future will look like, what I'm building, not from a place of lack. If you continue to operate in a place of lack, you will always lack. I would, back in the day would always say things like, I'm broke, I can't do this. But in that same breath, I was, spending money at the mall, hoping my car didn't decline. And, still lacking at that time as well. So I was just not in the mindset that I could ever do better financially. And I really had to, understand that I was not operating in the best way I could when it came to money. So if this is you, if you are trying to, eliminate this rob Peter to pay Paul mentality, there is opportunity for you. You just have to sacrifice. You have to be real with yourself and just really educate yourself. If you want to get into stocks and trading, if you're at a point where you can do that, research, go to events, like these events that I mentioned where there are just, women who are talking about trading and the market and all these great things. If you are someone who doesn't like to go to events by yourself and that's stopping you from going to events, you need to start to going to events by yourself, because you are stopping opportunities and just amazing, wealth of knowledge that can help propel you to the next level. So if you're somebody who wants to get into trading, go to these events that you see. If it's reputable, there are plenty of online webinar courses for this stuff. Do your research. If you're someone who is trying to, refinance your loans, you're trying to eliminate this debt that you no longer want to see come in on a monthly basis, do your research. Check out some of the resources that I just shared, or, find out what other opportunities are out there. There are people who can guide you in the right direction, and you really have to be in a mentality of prosperity. Prepare yourself for more. Leave room in your mind to be able to receive knowledge that will elevate you to new levels. And my last point, I quit conversations that have little to no value to my life. Like, if the conversation is not about God and goals, what are we talking about? Like, I have no interest in reality TV, what's going on, in the Housewives franchise, or drama that Wendy Williams got going on. Just stuff that I really have no interest in. Now, the Jussie Smollett case is interesting. Now, we can talk about that, because I have questions. But, just drama-prone things that are going on in reality TV, or that's going on in life that is downing someone, or putting someone down, or speaking negatively on someone. I have no energy to talk about those things. Let's talk about building wealth. Let's talk about stocks and trading. Let's talk about #BlackGirlMagic. Let's talk about your business ideas and entrepreneurship. Let's talk about the way God is blessing us at this moment in our lives, and how we're trying to, follow his path. Let's talk about, I got this daily devotional that me and my husband read on a daily basis. Let me share this book with you, because you and your husband or your future partner may find some value in this. How can I support you? What is it that you're doing? Are you trying to do something with your kids? Do your kids have a fundraiser? Let's talk about how I can uplift your child if they have an interest in art. Let's just talk about how grateful we are for our friendship. Like, those are the things that are fruitful conversations. That is what I want to be able to do more of, not just this year, but all the time. And I have found myself like backing away from people who don't have those level of conversations, and they always want to talk bad on people, or they always have something negative to say, or I'm to the point where I can no longer provide them any more positive feedback because they turn it into a negative. And it's like, I literally have no energy for you. And so because of that, I'm leaving. And that's just where I am. If you are experiencing the same thing where you are just around a group of people, a group, family, friends, or coworkers who are just always speaking negatively, it's time to, find a different outlet. Offer positive feedback in the conversation. And if you are, and they're still trying to flip it into, well, girl, if you did this, this is also going to happen as well. Like, they always find a negative thing to say. Exit stage left, like, for real, because you literally cannot change that person's mindset, and their sole purpose in life is to create a negative atmosphere because they thrive off of that, they feed off of that, and they want other people to fester in it. And you have to allow yourself to not, stoop to that level. Continue to offer some type of positive energy, but in the same time, find ways you can, maneuver around that. If it's work and you enjoy your job, try to avoid that person the best you can. If you've already confronted that person from a work standpoint and they're still being negative, of course, there are superiors you can go to, whatever, do what you need to do in order for it to be a positive atmosphere. But if you feel like that is also, not enough action is being taken place, you need to then start looking for your exit and find places where you feel appreciated and heard and listened to, and being able to provide your best work and not have to feel like your work is being impeded on, also trying to create a positive energy in that space, because that should not be your job. Everybody should be trying to create a positive energy in a space that you work. Friends, if there are people in your circle that she never has anything positive to say, she is negative Nelly, and there's just no getting around it. No matter what I say, no matter what advice I give, that person will always find something negative about it or something to complain about. You might want to tap out of that friendship. Of course, this all comes with having had confronted that person or made a mention to that person that, this is what's happening. Have those conversations. There's nothing wrong with that. Even family. Family can be really hard to talk to when it comes to negativity and, bad vibes you're getting. But you sometimes have to remove yourself from certain family functions. And it's just real. It's just life. And you cannot change everybody's perspective. You cannot make people think the same way that you think, but you can always provide your perspective in hopes that they receive it in the best way. And if not, carry on. Carry on. And that is just one thing that I want to continue to do for this year and forever. If you're someone who is also facing this same dilemma with any person in your life, find ways that you can uplift always. And if you need to make your exit, do so. There's so much negativity going around in the world in general that it's too easy to be negative. It's way too easy to be negative, and we just need more positive light in this world. We need people who genuinely support each other, genuinely call each other up just to say, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you, and, I don't really want anything, but here's, I wanted to hear your voice. Just provide positive energy, folks, because, it's way too easy to be negative, and we have too much of that. Create a positive space in your life, within your network, within your circle, within your job, the best way you can, because this will all play into the success of your goals and your plans that you are destined to do. The law of attraction is real. Like, if you are giving positive energy, you will receive positive energy. Every now and again, The enemy will try to make his face in some of those circles and try to play you. But even when that happens, because of your energy, you will be able to pick up on that person's negative energy ASAP. And that's just like having a discerning spirit. Like, you just know as soon as that person walks in the room, you shake hands with that person, you just feel like this negative energy and just, bad vibes. And you just like, I know this isn't just me. Like, I know there's something off about this person I could just not put my finger on. And when you have that intuition, that more often than not, it's probably true. And you just need to continue to operate in a positive manner until it is revealed to you if this person remains in your circle. But always operate in a place of positive energy, a great outlook, a supporting person, a person who is not a pushover, a person who does not allow people to run over them, but is able to still hold their ground, but in a positive manner, in a way that provides a new perspective that does not have to end in a fight, a battle. So that's where I am. I'm quitting all three of those things for 2019 and beyond. Again, these are just conversations that I've had with people, with friends, and I know for a fact other people are also dealing with this. And I wanted to be able to share that as my opener for season 2 because, it's just information that I know we are all dealing with. And no matter what level of success or happiness you are at, there will be, certain situations where you may question yourself. You may question your path, but know that you can't lean on your own understanding and that God has a plan for you. And that He is working in the best way possible to make sure you get there. And yes, there will be learning lessons along the way. So it's not going to be all, skipping in the fields with daisies. But it will, reveal to you your strength, your obedience, and there will be a reward at the other end of leaning on His word and Him allowing Him to order your steps. Know that with finances that, if this is a tough conversation for you and just a pain point for you, there is opportunity for you to grow. There's opportunity for you to reach new heights, reach new levels in your bank account. There are just so many resources out there that you have to allow yourself to learn about and educate yourself. You cannot put the blame on other people. Even if you came from a family that, has a spirit of poverty, you can say that's where it's rooted from, but you cannot blame that on them as to why you're still lacking. I could have easily done that, but I wasn't. I knew as I dug deeper as to why I was having these poor habits, I found out the root and why I operated in that manner, but I couldn't blame that on them as an adult, because I still hadn't taken the actions to repair it. Do what you need to do in order to reach a level of happiness when it comes to finances. And finally, conversations. If you are in a place where you're just trying to be, happy, you were just trying to go about your day, you're trying to live your best life, and you still have this negativity around you in your network, in your place of work, and your friends and family circles, you might want to back away, tap out, find another outlet of communication, find a new tribe or whatever. Be in places where you feel like you can unapologetically be yourself and be positive without someone always having something negative to say about you and your decisions and your ideas. Confront them, mention to them how you feel, go to HR, talk about it. And if you have already done those steps, then it's just really time for you to say, okay, I can no longer associate with you. I can see you at the cookout and stuff, and it's going to be real cordial, but it's not going to be like it used to be because you bring me no positive energy. So if you can feel any of these topics, if this hits home with you in ways that I've described and more, I hope these resources, I hope this information has allowed you to be more clear about what you need to do, provided some level of confirmation on the next steps you should take, And again, these are the steps that I'm taking. I'm just offering some helpful advice on what you could potentially do. But there are other ways to go about it. Do what you think is best in order for you to reach new levels of success, new levels of peace and happiness. And I just wish everyone abundance. So I'm excited about this season. I'm so glad the enemy did not stop me once again from airing this particular episode, because y'all was gonna get this episode. It was bound to happen because I just needed to share this and get it off my chest because I felt like it was gonna hit home with some people. So I'm really excited about this season. Stay tuned with me. There will be a lot of great resources for you guys throughout, but I wish you the best. I wish you new levels of mastery in multiple areas of your life, to let go of complacency, of mediocrity, and doubt. And I'm super excited about hearing from you all and how this has blessed you, how this has, provided you more clarity. And stay tuned. Stay tuned, guys. I look forward to hearing from you, and the next episode is coming soon.